Everybody, welcome to the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show, our first one of the 2023 season. I'm David Reitz, that's Josh Brigette. Josh, we're already 2 weeks into this football season. We've had some great games already around our local area.
Oh, it's so exciting to be back with high school football. My goodness, college football. That was this weekend. I was really excited to have college football back too, but we've had 2 great weeks of high school football. To think, we're already 2/9 of the season on the way down. It's just incredible how quickly this will go, but we've had great games. Teams are already starting to kind of identify where they're going to land up, and there's certainly some teams out there that got some improvements to make.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back, we'll take a look at this past week's highlights, our player of the week later on, and so much more coming up on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show.
Here's what I can tell you about John. If you like it warm in the winter and cool in the summer, he's your guy.
Thanks, Mike.
Just going through John's workload today. Air system not blowing.
Typical.
System tune-up.
No problem.
Funny smell coming from vents.
Don't even ask. Found the problem.
Many problems, one solution. For service you can trust, call the pros at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. So who's your guy?
MVP Sports has been providing the Jackson area with the finest custom apparel and select promotional items since 2006. We can take your corporate event, Employee Appreciation Day, or golf outing to the next level with expertly crafted shirts, hats, jackets, coolers, and even golf bags. As always, you can count on MVP for all your sports and school apparel too. No matter what your needs, MVP Sports has the equipment, knowledge, and expertise to make sure every order comes out just right. Whether it's embroidery or screen print, with outstanding customer service and design services, we make outfitting your crew or team a breeze. Stop in today and let's turn your ideas into reality. MVP Sports Store, 5000 Ann Arbor Road in Jackson.
Lester Brothers has been performing driveway installations for over 30 years. Crushed asphalt is one of our most popular driveway gravels and an overall Lester Brothers favorite. When spread properly, it can last for many years. It's 100% recycled, environmentally friendly, quarter of the cost of hot asphalt, dust-free, and ready for immediate use after construction. Contact Lester Brothers today for a free timely estimate for your future crushed asphalt driveway or parking lot.
Within the folds of your life, you find the passion and drive to keep pushing forward. Growth comes from continually moving ahead in every stage of life. Count on County National Bank to help with seamless financial solutions. We can act quickly and accommodate your needs, whatever life brings your way. Our local bankers understand our community and your goals.
Let's work together.
Learn more about our personalized banking services at cnbb.bank. Member FDIC.
Everybody, welcome back to the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. Let's look at this past week's highlights.
You got to look at 79 Wilhelmy. It's got to go behind him.
It's Daly. Great defense, great push for the Panthers. Gibson French with a shoelace tackle. And then we have a lot of confidence in her. Kicks up. And the kick is right through the upright, so...
That's a 22-yard field goal, and Detroit Country Day will get some points before... It's key for them right now, because they just can't get it going offensively.
Dawkins, he'll fire.
He's got plenty of time.
Oh, and this is the speedster. Carter, no one will touch him. Another Detroit Country Day touchdown.
70-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah, there's contact there. The kicker goes down. Carter loses the football. Detroit Country Day will recover, but that flag and that contact may give Western new life. The defense has the spark. Now the offense needs to see if they get that fire going. Here's Trudell. Trudell stays on his feet, rumbling forward. Breaks the tackle. The 10-5. Touchdown, Panthers!
40-yard touchdown. Alex Trudell on the first play from the line of scrimmage here in the second half for the Panthers. They needed a spark. They got one on defense, and Trudell takes it to the house. 40 yards. This is going to be a huge momentum swings in Western favor.
And you talk about a turn of events. in this football game. And right there, Birdner's got to put this through the uprights. 1st and 10. Reed Myers drops back. Here comes pressure. He throws. Red Jones! Touchdown! Western Panthers!
16-yard touchdown pass from Reed Myers to Caleb Rudd Jones, making a play running across, right across the goal line, and a great pass hit Rudd right in the hands. He was clearly defended, but Rudd Jones able to come up with that football. 16.
Oh boy, this is trouble. The Panthers jump on it. Touchdown, Western Panthers!
What a play. Fumble in the end zone on the punt, and that hit. That is Mitchell Williams who comes up with that football in the end zone for the first lead in the ball game for the Western Panthers.
Needs 13. Myers, here comes the pressure. One-on-one, the catch is made!
What an absolute...
It's Green, it's Parrott again!
What an absolute fantastic catch by Cody Parrott. Adjusts his body to bring that ball down. Back shoulder throw from Reed Myers. Just really well done there. Again, we've seen that connection. Ben Parrott, Reed Myers all game long. Shows up.
Dawkins throws. Oh, picked up! Picked up! Western's gonna win this game. It's Ben Parrott who's had a monster game. He does it again.
First turnover of the game for Country Day, and it's Ben Parrott who has had great hands all game. This time comes from the defensive side of the ball. Parrott with the INT. Getting the ball back to this Western offense. 35.6 seconds left in this ball game. Western with a 3-point lead here, 20-17 over Country Day.
Pandemonium here at the Panther house. Great hands, basically ends the game for the Western Panthers. They take a knee. Both teams will walk off the field, and the Western Panthers evens the series against the Detroit Country Day Yellow Jackets 1-1 with a 20-17 victory after being down 17-0 in the first half.
You get one out on each side, and it's a handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Lumen Christie.
Did you see the push?
Nice push by the line.
Yep, big time push. Green jerseys pushing right into the end zone.
Williams in the backfield. He's going to hand off to him, and the 2 points is good. 8-0 Lumen Christie early, 3 minutes into the game.
Gallagher sent me a text with a little heart.
On 1st and 10 from the 13,
oh,
pressure
there's
coming.
Another flag. Got to be a hold.
Gonna throw, but it's intercepted.
Yep.
And looks like Gabe, that's not Gabe King. Will he
That's
get there?
Josh Dumont.
That's Josh Dumont, and he'll be down at the 1.
Oh, he didn't get in, huh? But we have a flag. It's got to be a hold.
Hand off to Cadell Williams on the right side. He cuts back. What a move by Cadell Williams.
Wow.
Runs into a guy
Wow.
and scores again. Touchdown, Lumen Christie.
Unbelievable.
Cadell Williams, Dan. That's all I can say.
They just reload every year. Just put another guy in that spot.
2nd and 10 from the 21.
Ooh.
And the ball's on the ground,
down.
and it's picked up by Lumen Christie. Bounced right into his hands.
I feel bad for Decatur. I feel bad for the coach. He's got to find something. He's got to get 2 guys together, 3 guys together, and just...
It's into our second quarter. And a handoff to Rayberg. Touchdown, Lumen Christie.
Wow. What more can you say to that? That's some...
Wow. Crowley takes the snap. He drops back. Pressure coming. He throws. It is caught. And he'll be down at the 15. Charlie Saunders, the tight end, big number 88 with the catch.
Bottom.
Here's a handoff to Cadell Williams up the middle, and he makes a move. Oh, great move. Touchdown,
Cadale Williams, again, look at that. Great footwork and the moves, cut back, everything. Unbelievable.
See what I'm doing on my paper here?
That's his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Unbelievable. All right, here we go. Kickoff.
We get set to start our 3rd quarter. Lumen up 35-0. A short kick up the middle. This is going to be returned. He's got some room to the outside.
He gone.
See you later. Josh Dumont.
Wow.
6 more for Lumen Christi.
Now that's a score, so the clock will stop. 11:49, and it won't start again until they kick off again. Holy
Just
moly.
like that, 11 seconds in. Salazar. Another handoff, and the ball is out. Lumen will have it. And it looks like they are just going to take one knee here. And they don't have to take another snap here at the play clock. So that's it. Lumen rolls to 2-0. Big victory tonight over Decatur.
And those are this week's highlights, Josh. Let's start with Lumen's big win over Decatur, a shutout 41-0 on Friday. Lumen Christi, we knew going in, of course, they were the better team, but throughout that game, there were quite a few moments where Decatur, looking at the highlights, they had quite a few opportunities to make big plays, catches and runs, just didn't come through, but if you're Decatur, could take quite a few positives from that game.
No, I think it's what we've seen out of 2 weeks already, this Lumen Christi team, and really what we expect when we see a Titan team take the field is opportunistic, and they've really taken advantage. And when they need to, they clamp down. And what we've seen is great defense 2 weeks in a row. They're outscoring both their opponents 83-0 on the season. Just been a really great start. And I look at all 3 aspects of the game. They've been really good on the defensive side. Their offense has been clicking, really doing a nice job with that run, setting up that play action pass game, and then their special teams has been spectacular as well. So really a well-oiled Titan machine that we've seen so far.
And also for Lumen Christi, many contributors, but again, Cadale Williams, another big game for Lumen Christi. He's having a breakout year already, 2 weeks in.
He really has 6 touchdowns already to start this season, but he's been spectacular. He's done everything he's had to do. When he's run the ball, he's been powerful. He's been speedy and athletic when he's needed to be. But then he's been catching the ball out of the backfield too, which I think is a really unique wrinkle for Coach Brogan and his offense. If you can get him going in multiple ways behind a really powerful, strong offensive line, which you've seen on display 2 weeks in a row now, I think that just bodes great things for the Titans this year.
And let's look at our other game that we showed here on JTV this weekend. Western getting the big win over Detroit Country Day. Looking at the highlights, they were down 17-0, and what a comeback from Western.
Well, I had the pleasure of being there and calling that game. It was really a spectacular game. But when you went into halftime 17-0, most of the time you think 17-0 teams out of it. It just wasn't the case. Western made way too many mistakes that first half. Too many penalties. They had a touchdown called back. They just never seemed to be able to get going. But when you were watching the game, they were absolutely in that game, and they could play right there with Country Day. And you just expected them to talk. We talked about it at halftime. We expected them to come out and play a different brand of football, and they did. That third quarter was spectacular. To see them run off 20 unanswered points, to take the lead and get the win, and do it with everything. Good defense, good offense. Finally got that offense going. Really proud of Nick Rulewitz and his staff and his kids, the way they responded and how they performed in that second half against Country Day.
And for Western, again, they beat Divine Child, and now they beat Country Day. They're also off to a really good start this year.
And that's 2 great wins. When you can take 2 Detroit teams, one on the road, one here, and actually do just a tremendous job the way that they did. Been really impressed with the way that the Western Panthers have responded. They're going to get into IA play this week, so we're going to see how they're going to do in conference play. But to start the year, they have to have a ton of confidence.
And for Lumen, going back to their win over Decatur, they get into Richland Gull Lake next week. We'll get into more of the games this coming week in our picks later on, but they play Richland Gull Lake, and then they get into the really tough games like Jesuit, etc.
Yeah, I mean, but I look at this team, the way they're performing, the way they're preparing. This team looks ready to make another deep run. And I think that's what we can expect to see as Lumen Christi tends to get better every single week. I think we're going to continue to see that as the season goes on.
Yeah, and Timmy Crowley, this is his first year as the starting quarterback quarterback for the Titans. He's looked really good as well to start off.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were going to get. I mean, we had Joe Lathers last year. We just a different type of leader, and Timmy Crowley's not that, but he's been really good. He's been very efficient in both of these games. Got a good control of the offense. The team certainly looks at him as a leader on this team. So I think Coach Brogren had a lot of confidence in Timmy Crowley before the season started, and seems to really have earned that through camp in the first 2 weeks of play.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back, we're going to get to our game picks and look at all of next week's local matchups. They got a lot more coming up on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. Don't go anywhere.
You never think about a good tow truck service until you really need one. Jimmy's Towing and Auto Repair in Jackson will be there for you in a flash. Our technologically advanced GPS software enables us to pinpoint your location and dispatch the closest truck to assist you in no time. Jimmy's has the largest towing and rescue truck fleet in the area, and we have the right equipment for any towing need. When you need help in a flash, call Jimmy's. Jimmy's Towing and Repair in Jackson.
At Consumers Energy, we believe change is empowering, powering both your home and your business. Change is progress, with a modernized grid that can detect outages and restore power within seconds. Change is reliable. We're talking preventing over 35,000 outages last year reliable. And change is enduring, like our dedication to keep your power running, just as it should. Consumers Energy, a force for you, a force of change.
When you need metal, and you need it now, Alro Metals Outlet is here for you. When your back is against the wall, our vast inventory of aluminum, steel, plastics, and more will help you get the job done. Whether you're a professional or do-it-yourselfer, our retail stores are your one-stop shop for metals. You select it, we cut to length, and shear to size. Right here, right now. Because when you need metal, Alro Metals Outlet has your back.
Welcome back to the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. David Rice, Josh Burgett with you. Before we get to our game picks, there are quite a few other teams who have had really nice starts to the season. Grass Lake's 2-0. They got a big win over Shrine Week 1 and beat Hanover by 10 last week. That's a game that they kind of, I would say, collapsed in the second half last year against Hanover. And as far as that rivalry with them, they needed that win last week.
Yeah, and that offense really seems to be clicking. I mean, the way Grass Lake seems to be going right now against Shrine and Hanover Horton, that offense scoring a lot of points right now. They're going to be challenged this week. We'll see how they can respond to that challenge. But certainly, you can't ask for better than a 2-0 start, and they've done a great job. And another team I look at, Napoleon, big win over Onstead. That was an interesting game, how they had to play that 2 separate days. But then what they did to Columbia Central, a rival, beating them like they did, was really quite surprising. I expected more out of Columbia Central, but you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Derek Schell and the Pirates in Napoleon.
Absolutely. And another team, Manchester, they're off to a great start. They had a 54-8 win last week against Homer. Before we came into this season, I had Manchester as one of my picks to potentially win the Cascades. They're heading towards that so far. Manchester, another one of those local teams, having a nice start.
I think that's a great pick, just the way that they're playing. Homer's a good football team. New to the Cascades Conference, but Homer's a good team, and to see Manchester just put it on them like they did was really kind of surprising. Then just a couple more. Northwest gets their first win last week, so kudos to them. And then Jackson High against Waverly got their first win, so good to see some of our local teams here getting going.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into our game picks. Let's start with 8-man action. The Concord Yellow Jackets going up against Britton Deerfield. Concord, they got the big one over Toledo Christian last week, and that was a game where I thought, can Concord stay with them? And they did. They got the win. And I'm going to take Concord again this week to get back-to-back wins.
I agree with that. I just think the offense is starting to go for Concord, and we know how prolific this offense can be, especially in the 8-man when you can spread this out a little bit. I really like them. And BD 0-2. They've given up 48 points in both their games. I just think they're going to struggle to slow down this really tough Concord team. So I'll take Concord. Jackson at Tecumseh. This is an interesting one. Tecumseh gets the win week 1 against Northwest. They got handled last week against Whitehall. Whitehall's a good team, but came down to Tecumseh and really put it on them. I was really surprised by that. They lost 55-0. I look at Jackson's playmakers to give Tecumseh problems, and I'm looking for the Vikings to go on the road and get their second win of the year.
And I'm actually going to take Tecumseh in this game. You know, Jackson got their win against Waverly last week, but I think with the way that Tecumseh, lost against Whitehall last week, I think Tecumseh will have a bounce back. Let's go to Lumen Christi. They are on the road to Richland Gull Lake this week. Lumen Christi has not given up a point yet this season. Shut out Michigan Center and Decatur their first 2 weeks. I'm going to look for Lumen Christi to continue to be on a roll. It won't be a shutout, that's for sure. Richland Gull Lake will give them a little bit of fight, but I'm going to take Lumen Christi.
I'm not sure it won't be a shutout, and that's not because Richland Gull Lake's not a bad team. They're 2-0 on the year, but they just haven't seen a team like Lumen Christi yet, and I think that's the question is, I think this defense is really good. I think this is a very stout defense, and I'm looking for Lumen Christi to get the win. They're going to have to go on the road to do it, but I think they're strong enough to get the win. I think it's going to be their defense that carries them through. Let's go into the Cascades. Homer in the Cascades. East Jackson goes to Homer, and this is one of those very interesting games too. Homer 0-2, tough loss against Ithaca week 1. Manchester, like we said, really took care of them in week 2. They are just a good team, but they've given up 117 points. Nick Cass, the head coach, great defensive mind, so I know he certainly is looking to change that. And I just have a feeling that this is going to be the week they do that. East Jackson, a good team, but struggled last week against Addison. I think Homer at home gets the W, and it's because the defense turns it around a little bit.
And I'm actually going to take the Trojans of East Jackson. East Jackson, they lost last week, but Addison, they look like a really good football team. East Jackson, they did get the win in week 1, and I think East Jackson will improve to 2-1 and give Homer all that they got on Friday night. Let's go to Grass Lake. They're on the road to Jonesville. Jonesville has struggled to start the year. Grass Lake's 2-0. They scored 82 total points in their first 2 games. I'm going to take the Warriors to go 3-0.
I agree with you. I think Grass Lake gets the win, and it's a lot what you just said. It's the 82 points. They're averaging 41 points a game, but I think the challenge is Jonesville's defense, who's given up 40 points a game. I think it's a really bad combination, and unfortunately, I think Jonesville's going to look at starting the year 0-3, the second straight season, which will just be tough. But Grass Lake really playing good offensively right now. I think that'll be the key. Napoleon, Hanover Horton, more of a traditional Cascades Conference matchup. In this game, really interesting the way Hanover Horton played last year, but I think Napoleon, just the way they have started this year, they have found different ways to do it. Most of that has been through the passing game, and Grant Bradley doing an excellent job finding his wide receivers. I think that's going to continue, and I think they're going to see game film on how Grass Lake took advantage of that defense and did successful passing. I expect that to happen again with Napoleon. I like Napoleon to get the win.
Okay, Hanover Horton had, of course, the tough loss by 10 against Grass Lake last week. Napoleon, starting out 2-0, beat their rival Columbia, got the big win against Onstead week 1. I expect Napoleon to also start out 3-0. Addison hosting Leslie. Addison's on a roll. They got the big win against East Jackson last week. I expect Addison to continue that and get the win at home against Leslie.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I think this has got the making of a really good football game. Leslie, another one of those teams who really come out strong, 2-0 on the season. They're playing really well, but so is Addison. Addison averaging 56 points per game on offense, and Leslie averaging 45 points a game. Both offenses playing really well, but I think that difference is the Addison defense. In a close game like this, I'm going to take the home field advantage. I'm going to take style of play, and I think Addison, because they're at home and because their style of play is just so unique for the conference, I really like Addison in this ball game. Manchester, Stockbridge, partner, you and I just talked about them. Manchester just playing really well right now. Stockbridge coming off of a tough rivalry loss to Leslie, but Manchester, the way they're playing on both sides of the ball, I just give the edge to them. I think Manchester gets a big win.
And I'm going to take Manchester as well. They started out nice again. They're 2-0. And Stockbridge, they lost to Leslie last week, and I expect Manchester to continue to be one of those favorites at the top of the Cascades. Let's go to Michigan Center, one of the 2 games that you'll see this weekend on JT. We'll get to that in a little bit. Michigan Center on the road to Columbia. Columbia lost to their rival Napoleon last week. Napoleon's now 2-0. Columbia, with head coach Dylan Zaporowski, still struggling a little bit, but I'm going to take Michigan Center. They lost week 1 big to Lumen Christi, but they got the win last week against Jonesville, and I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to take Michigan Center as well, and it's really, I just expected more out of Columbia Central. I thought we would see more out of them last week. You're going to be amped up for a rivalry game, and they just thought they fell flat. And I'm curious to see. I know they want to get that first Cascades Conference win. I just don't think you're going to do it against Michigan Center, a team that obviously learned a lot where they stood week 1 against Lumen Christi, but then they had a great opportunity to get the win last week. They welcomed Jonesville to the Cascades Conference and gave them a loss. I have a feeling that they're going to welcome Columbia Central and give them a loss as well. Let's talk about our live game that we have on Friday night. Harper Creek travels to Northwest, and this is a tough one. Harper Creek 2-0. The teams they've played haven't really been tested. You got a Northwest team that got their first win last week against Adrian Madison. They lost week 1 against Tecumseh, which I think was just a tough game for them. Northwest hasn't beaten Harper Creek since joining the I-8. They've lost 8 straight to them, including last year's 28-0 loss. Everything about this game says pick Harper Creek, and I just feel like something is different with Stafford Newsom and the team out there in Northwest. I'm going to take the Mounties. I think they get a big win, beat Harper Creek for the first time in I-8 play.
And Stafford Newsom and his staff in Northwest have done a really nice job since he's taken over for Northwest. Brought him back 5-4 last year, just missed the playoffs. They had a nice year last year. They're off to a 1-1 start this year, but again, it goes back to Harper Creek winning 8 straight right now against Northwest. Harper Creek coming in. You know, they haven't played 2 teams that have been a big test for them yet, but I do think Harper Creek will get the win on the road at Northwest. That'll be our live game Friday night here on JTV. When we come back, we'll get to our Player of the Week and much more, so stay tuned on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show.
The Chase is the hottest spot in Jackson. They're sure to have something for everyone. Large open dining spaces are available that are perfect for any team gathering, offering delicious handcrafted pizza, available in hand-tossed or thin crust, flavorful wings blasted with your favorite sauce, and Angus burgers that'll make any fan's mouth water. The Chase, the perfect place to spend the big game.
Performance Automotive Northwest. We do way more than auto parts. We've got new lawn equipment from John Deere and Honda, chainsaws and trimmers from Steel and Husqvarna, 2 John Deere ready-to-mow mobile service trailers to make repairs quick and easy for you, and of course our bumper-to-bumper parts selection for almost every vehicle. We really do have it all. We'll even fill your propane. Performance Automotive Northwest, proud to be independent and locally owned for 35 years. Visit us today on Airport Road in Jackson.
When you have a sewer or drain issue, make the call to Minuteman Sewer and Drain. Sure, we all want to be the guy that can get under the sink and get the job done. Trust us, we know it's not for everyone. Call the experts at Minuteman Sewer and Drain for 24/7, 365 same-day emergency service. Let us be the ones to get under the sink. Let Minuteman Sewer and Drain take care of the clogs or debris and get you flowing back to normal. When you don't have time to waste, call Minuteman Sewer and Drain, 783-9952, or online at MinutemanSewer.com. Minuteman Sewer and Drain. We open drains others can't.
Welcome back here on JTV. David Royce, Josh Brigette with you. It's the Aspen Hour Football Show. Let's get into this week's Player of the Week. Cadell Williams again from Lumen Christi. Another solid performance from Cadell.
Yeah, partner, our Wilson Macknick Player of the Week this week, Cadell Williams, a junior running back from Lumen Christi. In the first 2 games this season, Cadell has found the end zone 6 times. He scored 3 touchdowns in the Titans' 42-0 win over Decatur this past week. The Titans had a great offensive line, but Williams has shown speed and power when needed. He's been effective running the ball and catching passes out of the backfield. Congratulations to this week's Wilson Macknick Player of the Week, Cadell Williams.
Yeah, Cadell Williams, again, our Wilson Macknick Player of the Week, had a nice game in the first half, where his touchdowns came against Decatur in week 2. Let's take a look at our IEP Urgent Care broadcast slide for this Friday night. Of course, our taped game, Michigan Center at Columbia Central. You see that this weekend. And our live game, Josh, me and you will be there, Harper Creek, visiting Northwest on Friday night. We're in for a good one in that game.
Yeah, we not talked about it, and you and I on different sides of this. I'm really looking forward to Northwest showing up, getting a big I-8 win, really getting this conference season started off right.
And again, you just mentioned it, getting into more conference play. Leslie, Manchester, Napoleon, Grass Lake, a lot of teams that are 2-0. Quite a few of them I expect to continue to be on a roll, and there's some great games coming up.
Yeah, and all the new Cascades Conference teams looking for their first conference win. So it'll be interesting to see who can actually pull that off and get the first win for the 4 new teams that join the league.
Well, we'll see if any of the 4 new teams pick up their first Cascades win since they've joined the league. And thanks for watching the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. Catch our live game Friday nights for Harper Creek at Northwest. That's Josh Brigette. I'm David Royce. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.